What's up, you guys? My name is Hunter Ivy. Today, I'm going to watch Papa Meat's video on Hobby Lobby. I've been wanting to do a video on it, so I'm going to do a video on it right now. The reason why I'm doing a video on it right now because I am a conservative. So yeah, I'm a conservative. If you guys did not notice that, and of course you're going to start commenting on this video saying like, "Well, you have a pentagram necklace on." There's a reason why I have a pentagram necklace on. If you haven't watched my Agnostic video on it, you can go on the link just below to watch my video called I'm Agnostic, and it'll explain to you why I'm wearing this. But anyway, let's watch Papa Meat's video about Hobby Lobby. Now before I get into the video, let's discuss about Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is an arts and crafts store that I do like going to. They have some pretty unique arts and crafts. They actually have some pretty unique stuff they sell there and stuff. I go there to shop because I just find something to, fit the style of the house I'm designing and everything and stuff. Because if you notice my room, you notice I have a steampunk slash gothic way when it comes to my design of the room and stuff. Of course, if you look at the ceiling, I actually designed that myself. Of course, I hired some people to do that and stuff. So yeah, do that. The ceiling and stuff. That's pretty neat. We have the wood and the black tiles right there. So yeah. But anyway, I like Hobby Lobby. I think it's a pretty good arts and crafts store. They have some pretty unique arts and crafts. They have some pretty nice selections to look through and see what they got and everything. Now, I don't know all the history of Hobby Lobby, but when I first watched this video of Papa Meat's video, I find it to be very interesting. And it's a pretty good history. I've watched some videos where they mention about them and everything. Like, for example, the Bible Museum and stuff, which I've never been to at all. I've heard about it, and I heard it got some controversies and stuff. And when it comes to conservative stuff, I do like conservative values. I do like Republican values as well. But the thing is, I will also say this. I do think it's wrong for, Christians to go out of their way to force their beliefs at people. Because in my opinion, it's just not absolutely the great idea to do. If you're forcing your beliefs to people, that's just not a good way to give a choice to a person, whether they want to, go the Christian route or something else. For me, I think people should have a choice what religion they should choose, what religion they should be comfortable with, and stuff. And this is why I think religions should get along with each other, regardless of their beliefs and stuff, regardless of what they, how they are and stuff. I do think, religions should get along. They should all get along and stuff, regardless of their beliefs. So yeah, that's what I think it is. But anyway, let's watch Papa Meat's video called The Horrors of Hobby Lobby. I should mention this, both me and Papa Meat, we have the same name. That's right, my name is Hunter and his name is Hunter. It'd be funny if we met in person and see how that goes. How I introduce myself, like, hey, I noticed your name is Hunter. My name is Hunter too. But I love Papa Meat's videos. His videos are hilarious. I especially love the puppet designs he does in his videos. I also notice he's autistic, which is the same thing as me. I have autism too. I have Asperger's syndrome. So yeah. And of course autism does affect my speech at times, but I'm not embarrassed to, be autistic at all. I'm proud for who I am and everything. I'm proud to be American, and I'm proud to be a conservative. I'm also proud to be a Republican. I'm also proud of what life I'm living in and stuff. But anyway, let's watch this video and see what I think of it so far. I'm going to...
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're going to be talking about Hobby Lobby. Chances are you've stepped into this arts and crafts store at one point in your life. Passing by, you may assume there's nothing out of the ordinary. What lies inside, however, is a store with a strange and controversial history. This is mostly due to the company's dedication to upholding their evangelical Christian beliefs. Not only are they often the butt of the jokes for this, but they've also participated in some really scummy behavior in their efforts to push encourage these kinds of views, right? Also, most egregious of all, they say everything's on sale all the time. I don't believe it. It's 100%, that's just what the price is, and they're telling you it's on sale. I don't fucking believe you. So,
I will say this. I think Hobby Lobby's prices are really good. I mean, they're not all that expensive. It depends on what art crafts you're buying at Hobby Lobby and all that kind of stuff. And when it comes to Hobby Lobby, I do browse around and see what it's like and everything. And I can see what he's talking about. The fact that Hobby Lobby is trying to force their beliefs in front of people, which is definitely not a good idea in my opinion, which I said before. I don't like that at all. I don't like when people force their beliefs, even though I am a conservative and I do like the Christian values and stuff. However, I still don't think it's right to force beliefs at people. I don't think it's right to do that.
let's look at what kind of place Hobby Lobby really is. Hobby Lobby is a retail store that was founded in 1972 in Oklahoma City by a man named David Green. What started as a home business selling picture frames evolved slowly over the years until today, where it's seen as one of the largest privately owned American companies with revenue reaching over $8 billion
$8
as
billion.
of last year.
Wow, that's a lot.
I didn't know the motherfuckers were pushing picture frames like that. That's insane. It is pretty crazy. The stores themselves are like any other home goods and arts and crafts stores, right? Except with an aggressive focus on religious and hyper-conservative values. It's common to see signs that read like, "We don't call 911," as well as the abundance of crucifixes and all shit.
Okay, let me go back to that. I want to see that again. He said we don't call 911.
In arts and craft stores, right? Except with an aggressive focus on religious and hyper-conservative values. It's common to see signs that read like, "We don't call 911."
Okay, I saw that in Hobby Lobby, and when I saw that, I was laughing. And I find that to be, a funny term they put out when they actually made that art and stuff. And when I saw that, I wanted to buy that, to be honest with you, because I understand the Second Amendment, which is known as Bear Right Arms, by the way. I love that amendment. I'm pretty sure that's what this art is actually talking about. Second Amendment, which is Bear Right Arms, which gives you the right to protect yourself with a gun and stuff. So yeah, it's all about self-defense. So yeah, and of course, according to this art thing that they're putting out and selling, it's basically about the Western times, because when it comes to the Western times, they didn't have 911 at a time. They didn't have 911. All they were doing was just having a sheriff and dealing with whatever bad situations going on and all that kind of stuff. Not only that, they also take care of things themselves because some of them are outlaws and that kind of stuff, and they'll use guns to protect themselves. I mean, yeah, a lot of people in the West have guns. Yeah, it was a gun-loving year. So yeah, and you may be wondering, would I love to have guns myself? I mean, yes, I do like to have guns myself too, because they're pretty unique to have, in my opinion, and stuff. I do like to have some guns myself. However, I can understand sometimes people don't like having guns, but here's the thing: you don't have to buy guns if you want to. You don't have to buy guns if you want to. I also want to tell you this, guys. It's not the gun that's actually bad. It's the person behind the gun. It's the person behind the gun. That's all it is. Who's actually bad? Because I do believe that bad people should not have guns. I do believe good people should have guns. That's what I believe when it comes to knowing the Second Amendment and see how it works and everything. So yeah, I do believe that military officers and policemen and that kind of stuff should have guns and stuff. And when people need protection to protect their homes from robbers and people that try to kill them and everything, I can understand them having guns to protect themselves and stuff. So yeah. But of course, he does bring up a good point right here about the whole thing. We don't call them 911 and stuff. I mean, yeah, and I do respect policemen do their job and everything. I do have nothing against policemen at all. I respect them for doing their job and everything, always protecting people and stuff. So yeah, I always thank him for that. By the way.
as well as the abundance of crucifixes in all shapes and sizes, which I just gotta say, just because you're a religious person, you might be conservative, doesn't mean that, you know, not knocking you for that, but I'm just saying these signs, they suck. All right? And also, to be fair, if I want fucking arts and crafts, do I want people shoving their beliefs in my face all day?
What if I like those beliefs?
He brings up a good point here, because I do not like when people shove their beliefs in front of my face either. I don't like that in the slightest. Because, and he's not referring to just Christian or conservative. He's also referring to all, you know, all religions when they try to shove their beliefs into people. And yeah, I can definitely understand where he's coming from, because sometimes people don't want to hear those beliefs over and over again. That's like bringing up the same subject over and over again. So yeah, that can be really frustrating to get through. So I can understand where he's coming from.
I guess I didn't think about that. Many art pieces often include reference to scenes.
That right there, that wrench style cross, that is a cool looking cross. I won't mind actually having that in my room. That's a really cool looking cross. I especially like the Native American one with the arrows and stuff. That's also pretty cool too. I should mention this. I'm also part Native American, if you don't notice that. I'm also part Native American according to my family history and everything. So yeah, I'm part Native American, part Irish, and part Scottish. That's right. We got to protect our lands. Let's continue the video.
From the Bible, to the point where customers see it as incredibly
I've
technical.
never seen that
Depends
before.
on which customer you are.
The toilet paper with the finger going out.
Yeah,
The toilet paper with the finger going out, I gotta say, it fucking rules, actually. I know I just dogged him, but the finger toilet paper thing, that actually sick.
You know, it'd be even funnier if he had like a little poo finger, like at the end of the picture.
It looks like blood. Wow.
That would be funny. That definitely would be funny. Absolutely disgusting. Younger generations ridicule the store for its live, laugh, love style of cringy, relatable products. So much so that it's become a trend to go into stores and jokingly read the signs out loud.
Oh, wow.
I think I like this little life.
$1 billion each. What am I supposed to tell you? Beyond that, Hobby Lobby has fully embraced artificial intelligence by selling what clearly looks to be AI art, some of which include glaringly obvious design errors, which
I'll tell you this about AI art. I don't care if the art is done by AI. If I think it looks good, it looks good. It looks pretty unique. And I've seen how AI does art and stuff, and it's pretty unique what they do and everything. It's pretty unique what AI does and stuff, especially with music and art. It's pretty unique how they do it. Do I think AI is ruining art? Not really. Because, in my opinion, that you can choose wherever you like. You can choose whether you want to do art your way or you want to choose AI. It's your choice. You don't have to go out of the way and say, like, AI is ruining art. To me, you have your own choice. You can choose to paint and do your own art that way. Or you can just do AI if you want to. It's your choice. Where floats your boat. That's what I can say.
I gotta say, that's every store at this point. I feel like every store I've gone to, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
It's the vendors they buy from that are doing the AI art, so but they don't care. They're just like, oh,
But yeah, I don't give a fuck. We'll put it on the shelf. Like a little monkey with a hat on him.
If I like it, I'll buy it. I'll still buy it. It doesn't matter if it's AI or not. So yeah, I'll still buy it.
How do they do that? As a whole, Hobby Lobby has the reputation of selling incredibly low-quality art supplies and novelty products,
I bought those
and is believed by
before.
many artists to be in a noticeable decline. I remember back in the day, I used to get my Micron pins there, right? Because you'd be like, I gotta go there, I'm gonna get some paper to draw and some Micron pins. That used to be where you go. I went there recently. Despite this, some older people are incredibly moved by their products. One woman films her husband being reduced to tears over a painting of a cow sitting at a dining table.
Why are you crying? Why did that make me cry?
Oh.
Seeing a cow at a dining table, that is funny and cute at the same time. I mean, but also makes you think like, we've been eating them. Oh God. Yeah, we've been eating cows because we've been eating burgers and steak and that kind of stuff. Yeah. You know what? I don't blame this guy for crying and laughing at the same time. Seeing a cow at a dining table and everything, so I don't blame him for being like this. Oh man. Yeah. If I saw that, I'll be like the same way he is. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to say this:
silly.
if I could feel anything remotely that pure, my hat's off to him. Or do you think it's mental illness?
I thought it was performative, but it could be.
However, if you've already heard of Hobby Lobby before the video, it's likely not because of their products. You probably know them for their weird religious activity. Hobby Lobby does not shy away from the fact that religion is baked into every facet of their business.
Actually, wealth can be a curse, and so we don't create wealth. We see ourselves as really stewardships of the profits that we earn.
One of the biggest.
You know, I'm not sure about how David Green is describing this, to be honest, because the thing is, I mean, he's trying to discuss how he is with his religious beliefs and everything, but the problem is, you could tell by him how greedy he is. He's just doing this for the money. He just wants Hobby Lobby to have money and stuff. Like, he's just doing it for the money. And I saw that thing pop up, like, or the $13.7 billion that Hobby Lobby has made and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot of money. And they also made $8 billion as well. And it's a lot. That's definitely a lot of money indeed. Yeah, but also, like I said before, I like Hobby Lobby's products. Their products are pretty unique when it comes to arts and crafts.
Stories to come out from the company was their unwillingness to provide forms of birth control as part of their health insurance plan. Just want to take a second to thank our sponsor,
Birth control. I mean, everybody has their own choice whether they want to take birth control or not. Yeah. And sometimes I don't always trust it because, number one, when it comes to birth control, you always gotta be safe. If you're trying to have sex, just go through a safe sex route. Always use a condom when you're taking birth control as well, because you never know if it may work or not. You never know. Yeah, but do I think? So you may be wondering why I think of me having a kid. I mean, I'm still thinking about it. It depends. I have been with a girl a long time, but I am going on a date soon. So yeah, I am going to meet a girl soon. So I can't wait for that. But anyway. Like I said before, I don't know if I want a kid or not. I'll think about it someday. It depends if I want a kid or not. It depends. Let me skip this this gamer subs thing because I don't want advertisement in my video.
It says raw meat if you're trying to get a nice caffeinated beverage. Thank you. Back to the video. To be fair, and I'm gonna say, listen, throw a dog a bone and let him have the birth control stuff. At the same time, every person I've ever seen in there is 76 years old, so they're probably like, it's barren and it's nature's birth control. You think Gladys is can go out here? Can you imagine? Could you actually imagine your 83-year-old coworker?
Last night I got a last night I was rolling around the hay and a little bit of baby gravy.
Oh God!
I mean, she's just like, can I get a pill?
I mean, what is the guy like? Are you serious?
At that point, that is a miracle. If a 70-year-old.
I'm just if you saw a 76-year-old woman with a belly bump, I mean, I'd be like, you better. I've got to go to church.
She wants to suck that thing out.
She wants to. At that point, if I was a CEO, I'd be like, "This is seriously a miracle." Even I'd go down there. I'd be like, "That's probably Superman." You're giving birth to something. I don't know. It could even be what if it's the Antichrist?
Well, Christians want the Antichrist to come because then they go to heaven. That's the coming of Jesus.
That's the rapture.
That's the rapture.
Imagine the woman that you work with at Hobby Lobby, the 75-year-old Gladys, is the signifier of the rapture. You just see that motherfucker like this inside her belly.
Oh God!
Yeah, she's just like, his name's gonna be Derek. In this house, we don't call 911.
She's red pilled by that point. Yeah, she's based. Gladys is definitely based. Probably got deep by like a 22-year-old veteran. This led to a widely publicized lawsuit in which Hobby Lobby succeeded in setting a new precedent that allowed some corporations to deny certain contraceptives to their employees based on religious reasons. You know what I don't like about it? You're going out of your way to be a dick, right? Well, yeah, fuck off, dude. It's kind of a God-given miracle that man was able to, I mean, take this and you will not have a child. I mean, how crazy is that?
They need a male version.
It's called a condom.
Well, tired of leaving it up to the woman.
What are you talking about? So what you're saying is that you want a pill where it's like, it also comes with a slingshot device that you put in and you have to hit her. She has to consume it and boom. Perfect.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a
hilarious.
little dart
That's
that
funny.
gets injected in there.
That's funny.
Every man becomes like a Rambo at that point up in a tree. Yeah, or it's just a blow dart. Damn it. All right, I'm not pregnant now.
A man takes the pill and fucking dissolves your sperm.
I kind of wish there was a way. I wish there was a switch. Imagine the future. The same people who came up with the light switch came up with a thing where you stick into your balls, your testicles, and you're able to.
Oh yeah, or you had a second hole that like kind of like a train switch. Like you could, if you wanted to come out the beehole.
Do insane levels of autism, dude. Take a train. I'm a conductor. When I want to make love to a girl and make jisms, I turn it to the left.
I noticed he say he has autism. I have autism myself. By the way, yeah, I have Asperger's syndrome. Yeah, so I think I already said that before in this video. So yeah, he has autism. I have autism. So yeah, yeah. Love you,
I'm telling you,
Claudius.
we are getting on the. I mean, come on, we're gonna need a spit bib and a hard hat after a while. Better watch out. Similar to companies like Chick-fil-A, which also hold Christian values, they too are not open.
I love Chick-fil-A's chicken. It's a pretty good chicken indeed. Their chicken is absolutely delicious, especially their chicken nuggets. They're delicious indeed. But I wish their chicken nuggets were crispy. I wish their chicken nuggets were crispy instead of soft. But they're pretty good. They're pretty good. And especially chicken sandwiches are pretty good too. And I noticed that Chick-fil-A is pretty religious and stuff. And I also heard rumors where Chick-fil-A will not hire gay people into their businesses and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, I never that and stuff. But of course, I have nothing against Chick-fil-A at all. I am happy for their business and everything, how they run their business and stuff. So yeah, and also I mentioned this. I'm not homophobic. I got gay friends too, and I respect them for who they are. But by the way, I'm straight. By the way, I'm a straight guy, so I always date girls because I think it's natural, in my opinion, to date girls. When it comes to people dating the same sex, if you want to go that way, that's your choice. I mean, if you want to go that way, that's your choice. Whatever floats your boat.
Put on Sundays. Not only that, but they refuse to celebrate Halloween or sell any horror-themed decorations, seeing it as pagan holiday.
I never get why some Christians do not celebrate Halloween. I never get that. I like Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays to celebrate, especially when it comes to the horror themes that it floats around Halloween, when people dress up in costumes and that kind of stuff and go trick-or-treating and everything else. And not only that, have Halloween parties where you have the horror themes and stuff, and have your friends come over and everything. And also, you get to watch horror movies of your favorite kind and everything. You get to count the days of what movies you should watch, will be the best for you to watch and everything on those kind of month and stuff. And I always like October. October's one of my favorite months to go by and stuff. I think Halloween is definitely my favorite holiday of all time. It really is. It's a pretty unique holiday and stuff. But I don't understand why Christians don't celebrate it. It's kind of bothers me a bit why Christians don't celebrate it and stuff. Of course, pagans do, but that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about pagans, but I do know they actually celebrate Halloween, which is nice. And I celebrate Halloween too. Of course, I'm agnostic. By the way, guys, I'm actually agnostic. So yeah, I do like Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays and stuff. And when it comes to Christians not celebrate Halloween, I just find it kind of questionable in my opinion because why? Why you don't celebrate Halloween? I just want to know the detailed reason. But if you don't celebrate Halloween, that's fine. That's fine. It's your choice if you don't want to celebrate any kind of holidays or anything like that. I even met people that don't celebrate Christmas. Yeah, I met people that don't celebrate Christmas and that kind of stuff, and of course I will question about that and stuff. But I always try to respect them for who they are, depending on what holidays they want to celebrate and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like Christmas. I love Christmas. It's one of my favorite holidays too, indeed. So yeah.
That should not be respected or acknowledged. I think you know what they need to do. If they Hobby Lobby could be in a market where what if they had like a fucking sick looking Jesus thing? Put that in your yard. That'd be creepy as fuck. They think it's.
I don't like that. I
Stop
like
the spirit.
that.
I'm like, can you imagine that?
See
that? Like that? That'd
be scary.
That would be scary. Not only are there stores known to play Christian music, but some employees have even noted that sermons are played for all employees before the store opens and closes.
So if you ever find yourself crying or getting teary-eyed, just know they're playing some worship music. I feel his presence in here.
Christian music, dude?
Here's my opinion about Christian music. It depends on what it is. I've listened to Christian music before, and when it comes to Christian music, I don't hate it. It all depends on how it's played out and everything and stuff. It depends on how it is and everything. It all depends on how it's played out. There are some Christian rocks that I do like. There are also sometimes I also like Christian rock bands and metal bands, especially like Dragon Force. Dragon Force does play some really intense music that way, and yes, they're a Christian too that way. If you don't notice that.
Some Creed? Oh,
My uncle.
Creed.
love your uncle's Christian rock band.
I will put that in my
It was so
playlist.
good.
I will
Unironically.
put that in my playlist.
Unironically, I was like
a fire. I'll definitely
turn up
put
my
that in
car.
my
I was like,
playlist.
this shit, fuck,
That's
this
fucking
rips.
awesome. That's fucking awesome.
They go even further to push their beliefs by putting out newspaper advertisements about Jesus Christ, something David Green claims he felt commissioned by God to do since as far back as 1995. Which I just want to say, it's always people that speak feel like they've been talking with God. It's a little bit of narcissism, isn't it? You taught me David Green, you're selling paints and picture frames, dude. God told me to do so. No. In 2021, they received heavy backlash for posting a full-page ad on Independence Day attempting to prove that the U.S. is meant to have Christian-run government. Okay, once again, this is an art store. Starting in 2022, religious advertisements started to release on all platforms, with some showing up during multiple Super Bowl commercials, which I just want to say. So, I mean, it's like, for a 30-second commercial, I think it's like, it's like $2 to $10 million.
Oh, well, they got the funds.
They got the funds. And to spread the good word, he's probably just like, God, I'm a good person. Isn't that right, Gladys? Her just uterus is open. Like goat man's coming out of it. It was created by an ad campaign called He Gets Us, which has spent hundreds of millions of dollars thus far, with reported plans to spend around $1 billion within its first 3 years.
Wow.
Whoa. The ad consisted of various pictures showing people getting their feet washed, an act that's supposed to be symbolic of humility and forgiveness of sinners. Most, however, just saw it as judgmental, creepy, and vaguely horny, if I'm being honest. Did you see those? I've seen those.
The way they try to do these foot massages and those kind of type of pictures, it's not really to the point where it's trying to be sexual or anything like that. I will say this. If you have a feet fetish, please do not describe it to me. Please. It really bothers me. Don't ever describe your foot fetish to me at all. Because I just don't like it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Now, when it comes to foot massages, if it's done by a professional massage person, I will let that person touch my feet. And I've been to foot massage places before. For example, I've been to a foot massage where they actually have the fish bite off the dead skin of your feet. I actually tried that. That actually felt really nice. It felt really, really good. It felt really good. I won't mind a foot massage as long as done by a professional and has experience in what a foot massage is supposed to be like. I won't mind that at all. So yeah, and I kind of understand his point of what he's coming off and everything and stuff. What he's describing over here. So yeah,
Hits us. He just gets us. One ad in particular tries to explain how we should just love our enemies the way Jesus did, and the images of the advertisement depict minorities and liberal-looking people.
That is true. I do agree with that kind of statement where you should love your enemies, and despite what they are like and everything. That's why I had to come to a topic where I mentioned that all religions should get along and stuff. That's why I think all religions should get along. Because according to the Bible, it does say just love your enemies, regardless of what beliefs they have and everything else. So yeah, as long as they respect you for who they are, respect you for who you are and stuff, that's actually good. Because here's my opinion. My opinion is I don't care what kind of beliefs you guys. As long as you respect America, you're good in my book. You're good in my book. I don't care if you're liberal or anything like that. If you respect America, that's good in my book. That's good in my book and stuff.
As evil sinners who are seen shrieking at cops and country boys, right? The goodies. I guess I should just like them. These sinners, these freaks. Look at that woman with a ring in her nose. Septum pierce theory. Hobby Lobby has a lot of strange commercials as well. Often, they're filled with ham-fisted morals and seem to cater to a much older religious people. In one Christmas commercial, for example, an overworked mom is seen working tirelessly to clean up after her gamer son. After realizing how lucky he is to have her, he suddenly decides to sell all of his video games to purchase Christmas decorations and surprise her. Yeah, right, dude. Like a fictional story. The motherfucker be like, Mom, get up here! Be like that kind of thing.
He's using her credit card to buy like riot points or whatever.
Yeah, riot points and vape juice and shit. Blowing fat clouds in there, ordering fucking escorts and stuff like that. That's my stocking stuffer. Yeah. Employees of Hobby Lobby often voice their frustrations online. As you would expect, they meet all sorts of strange customers. Which I want to say, going into a Hobby Lobby, it is very odd because it's like, there's always somebody in there, shopper, but they never have anything in their cart. Everyone has a cart and they're walking aimlessly around like a labyrinth, which leads me to believe, do they hire people to...
When I was shopping at Hobby Lobby, I never seen any strange customers, to be honest with you guys. Although when I do see them, I don't really try to, go up to them and say anything to them. I just, mind my own business and just shop whatever. That's all I can say. Yeah.
To just walk around the store to make it seem there's people in there. I'm telling you, go to a Hobby Lobby, you'll find someone in there and they're just walking around with nothing in their cart. Looking at like fucking wreaths, and also everything has like cinnamon on it. It smells like cinnamon everywhere. You know what I mean? But they're just looking. Kind of reminds me of like Scientology. Many of them swear by Hobby Lobby, these strange customers, treating it like their second home. Their love runs so deep that it becomes common for them to visit other stores like Michael's or Joann Fabrics to brag about how great Hobby Lobby is in comparison. Oh.
Here's my opinion about Michael's. Michael's, they have some pretty unique arts and crafts as well. And I do think their products can be better than Hobby Lobby depending on what they sell and everything. And so yeah, I do like Hobby Lobby and I do like Michael's. I think I prefer Michael's better when it comes to arts and crafts because they have more selections and stuff. Although sometimes their arts and crafts can be a bit expensive depending on their prices and stuff. But anyway, I do like both of them. They're really unique places to go to stuff when it comes to arts and crafts.
Yeah. No, I mean, the store's okay. It's just no Hobby Lobby.
Those are again paid actors.
Crisis actors. Yeah, 100%. Do you think it's recruiters? Do you think the same actors that go in, they're just like, it's so weird. It's weird because it's actually a better price at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, it's advertising. That's the $1 billion budget.
That has to be a part of the $1 million budget. One Hobby Lobby employee was asked by a customer if he had any experience with planting. The customer proceeds to tell them that his uncle has created a type of dust that is incapable of getting wet, which he claims is so important that it can save the country. And And during his rant, he started explaining how Obama failed to save homes from the flooding and how the dust could also be used to clog up and stop BP oil spills. The worker was then asked to try and make him the dust he was referring to which he said no and walked away. You
What?
Put me on some of that dust? No, I don't think I will, actually. Gassing yourself up
I guess
real
he doesn't
big.
know how to
That sounds
make it
great.
yet.
I could actually
Okay.
have like a leak in my garage.
Uh,
No. There's no way. First off, if you're making miracle dust, there's no way you're not carrying around sandbags. Yeah, pockets of dust. It should fix it. Like, dude, what the he's like, no, don't mess with it. Because that's the answer. And Obama did a bunch. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. In one case, a woman chastised the company for selling candy in multiple locations of the store. She tries to start a movement by having people commit an agreement and to tag their social media page to stop this.
I don't need to walk through and see all that stuff. I don't want my kids asking for things when we check out. There's got to be a way to do this. Let's talk Hobby Lobby. And for those of you who agree, please comment and tag them below.
what? Really? So let me get this straight. You as a parent don't want your kids to ask for candy? It's just candy. That's it. I mean, I won't mind if I have kids that'll ask for candy. I mean, I will give it to them as a treat if they've done something good and stuff. Like if they done something that I appreciate them doing, then I'll give it to them. And kids do like sweet stuff. They like sweet stuff. I mean, yeah, it really it's a thing they enjoy and stuff. So I don't see any problem with any store selling candy. If they want to sell candy, that's fine. I never gets that at all. So I don't really agree with this woman what she's trying to say.
What?
Yep.
What?
What?
I don't know. In a particularly absurd story, Christian parents were in an uproar after seeing that potentially demonic products were being sold in the Hobby Lobby stores. A supposed member of the Satanic Temple.
Okay. After seeing these items that, even though they're AI generated, I know the Satanic Temple did this prank and stuff, but thing is, if I did actually see those in Hobby Lobby, I will buy those in a heartbeat. And here's the reason why. Because I'm into Gothic stuff, and this is like, seeing like some Gothic art. So yeah, if Hobby Lobby did have some Gothic art that I will actually like, I will buy it in a heartbeat. If I saw this, I will buy that in a heartbeat too, because I like Gothic stuff and I like the art that Satanic Temple does and everything. They have some pretty unique designs when it comes to their way of describing how Satan looks and everything else and all kind of stuff, and how they use the behemoth faces and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it has some pretty unique designs and stuff. And the fact that they did this a prank, that is kind of funny. I will admit it's kind of hilarious how they did this a prank and stuff. And yeah, but anyway, I mean, if I did see those in an arts craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I would definitely buy those in a heartbeat, because I do like Gothic stuff. I especially like that kind of art. It looks pretty cool how I design it and everything. But if Christians don't like it, that's totally fine. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on what they like and don't like. So yeah.
Played a prank on the company by using Midjourney AI, and she created a fake image of Hobby Lobby aisle stocked with what appears to be satanic pillars. The post
Wow.
started to spread, leaving older, less tech-savvy Christian adults in complete shock. Which I gotta say, that's the perfect prank for like Facebook adults. Why would the adults believe that was real?
Because
Because it's in a picture and it's in front of them. Oh my
exactly.
god!
And it's on Facebook. There's a huge there's a huge prank going on where people
AI
are
is
taking photos
crazy.
in the room.
AI
and
is
putting
definitely
homeless
crazy
man
when it
in
comes to how
and then
AI
sending it
works
to
and
their parents, being
everything.
like,
It's
I let this
crazy.
guy
I've
in.
seen that, yeah. And then the parents like, what the?
It's very
Which, to be
unique,
fair,
too.
if I was a parent, I'd be like, wait, what? But like a giant pillars, I'd be like, what? That's fake.
Would you let a homeless person in?
No,
I always thought if
they're homeless. They're not supposed to be in a home.
True.
That's That's a prank. That was a joke. I would probably even, like someone I've never met. I'll never let you in my home.
If someone knocked on the door and said, "Hey, I got a job
I like
interview.
pot meat.
Can I take a shower?"
No. What? You look fine. Put on the blind.
What if they said, "Can I use your garden hose for a shower?"
Garden hose in the shower.
But,
Wow.
if he sat there and I'll tell you this. He turned on the door. If he was like pulled out like actual tiny shampoos, I'd probably open up the door. All right, come on in.
Oh
See,
wow.
you just fell for it. Then now he pulls out a knife.
Oh shit! That
At
will
least he'd
be
smell
scary to
good.
go through.
Killing me, I guess. That's a commitment. Though.
Oof.
I'm washing myself.
Yeah, in the hopes that you'd have a change of heart.
Yeah, exactly. I feel oddly compelled to let this man in. One of the most contentious parts of the working for Hobby Lobby is that, unlike basically every other retailer, they refuse to use barcodes. Really?
What?
You think it has to do with satanic? It's probably satanic symbols and barcodes. Yeah. Back in the
Really?
1980s, people started to fear that UPC barcodes actually hid secret references to.
Okay, that's the one thing I don't get. How could barcodes actually reference satanic stuff? How? I like to know how. How is that possible? I really don't get it, because I just view barcodes as a barcode that you scan. That's it. But the fact that Hobby Lobby doesn't use barcodes or anything, it has satanic stuff. Okay, kind of weird. Okay, I never heard that before. Okay, that's interesting.
The mark of the beast.
But these numbers are always sandwiched in between these three spacer symbols, here, here, and here. Two vertical lines with a space between them. But here's what's strange. Whenever the number 6 appears in a barcode, it's also represented by two vertical lines with the space between them.
A rumor had begun to spread that Hobby Lobby, following the evangelical Christian values, feared this and decided to do everything manually as a precaution. According to David Green himself, however, it's simply because he feels that it's more accurate to have humans take inventory rather than trust computers. Does he understand how computers work?
Yeah.
Despite this claim, it actually just makes ringing customers up way more time-consuming and tedious because they have to manually type in each price on top of memorizing their unique discounts.
That could be really annoying to go through when you're shopping for stuff and they have to type in the barcode and stuff. That is just really annoying because to sit there and just wait. Stand there and wait for those items to be scanned and everything. I just find that to be really, not a good idea to do, especially when it comes to that. So yeah, I don't really get what they're trying to put here. I mean, the saying that the barcodes are satanic, really? I just don't get that at all.
That change constantly. Once again, I don't believe that's even real discounts. One 6-year-old new employee found herself making small mistakes trying to learn the system, which led to a large man screaming at her and threatening to beat her ass in the parking lot over a single candle he was trying to purchase.
Yo!
It was a bit excessive by the man. Come on. Unless he was just sitting there. She's like, oh, God, I don't know. And he's like, can I just leave?
No, no.
Megan has he's like, I'll kick your ass.
Jesus.
I'm pregnant.
What if she was there for like literally 20 minutes trying to ring up one candle?
I'd leave. I would leave.
You know what? I don't blame you.
After 3
there,
minutes.
Hunter,
I would leave
you.
after 2 minutes, Nick. Do I need the Hobby Lobby can? What flavor is it? What scent could it be? It's cinnamon. It's cinnamon. And I'd be like, I'll just fucking go buy some Febreze.
Sorry, I'm pregnant. He's kicking.
It's like,
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh God.
He's singing.
like, huh? Well, your baby's doing what?
Sings to me.
Oh Jesus, this is so funny.
Can you imagine a 6-year-old with
I
pregnant?
love Hot Wheels.
She looks at you with her fucking swollen ass belly. You're like ringing it up or whatever, and she's just like,
It's not good. There's something bad inside me.
I gotta tell you, that'd keep my ass up at night. Are you kidding me?
He's saying your name.
The guy's like, I haven't told you my name. She's like, Steven. Can you imagine being right? Hunter. Man, that's why he's threatening to beat her ass. I'll f***ing kill you. I can't die.
Oh, wow.
I can't feel. My soul was burned a long time ago.
Jesus Christ.
I'm actually scared myself. Like, can you imagine that? An old pregnant woman being like, my soul was burned along. It was burned in a lake of fire.
Oh, Jesus.
That's worth an ass kicking.
Before she even talks.
God.
One man who had been working there for 10 years was abruptly fired because he patted a customer's arm to console them because he was disappointed that he had to wait a day to get his photos framed. Don't touch me. At one Hobby Lobby location, an employee was asked to jump into a trash compactor to fix it after their poor maintenance caused it to break down.
Jesus.
Hey, Hunter, quick tip. I'll pop me quick tip. Hey, don't jump in a trash compactor, okay? Just gonna repeat that again. Don't jump in a trash compactor.
Don't jump.
Don't go.
Don't jump in a trash compactor. Don't do
go
that.
near
That's
a trash
awful.
compactor if you don't have to. I saw a guy break his fingers on one time. They had it was to compress cardboard boxes down, to flatten them, and like people would because like when they go down, some boxes start to come out, so you like press them back in. When he was pressing it back in, it caught it and he couldn't grab it. And
I worked with trash compactors before. At a previous job that I worked at, I had to be very careful with those things because they will definitely take your fingers off in a heartbeat. They will seriously take your fingers off. You have to be very careful when you put your hands in there and all kind of stuff. You have to be very careful of what you do when you're working with that kind of equipment and stuff in that kind of job. So retail can be dangerous sometimes. You have to be very careful with the stuff you're working with and everything. You do need some kind of experience. I mean, I worked in retail before, and I see what it's like, and you'd be very careful when you're working that machinery and stuff. That's why they require a certain age, and also they require some experience and stuff when it comes to those machinery and stuff. So, yeah.
Do they come off?
yeah, or no, they kept on, but they were mangled. They had to be removed, so he's fingerless. What was funny enough though is we called him Shaka Bra because these left. So they was all stubs, and they would do that. We're like, yo, 15 years old, not understanding the real situation.
What job was this?
It's like a grocery store. It's common for employees to be injured on the job,
Oh,
especially
shit.
when working in stock room doing physical labors. One man, however, found that the company was unwilling to accept injuries they'd caused. Neil Roberts was shocked to find out that the company hired a new slew of private investigators to confirm his back injury was real before offering him workman comp. $8 billion company.
Jesus.
Got an Inspector Gadget, whatever they're there. One investigator took things a step too far when he tried to sneak a GPS tracking device onto his vehicle. He was also followed and photographed for a long period of time. I was going to say bad investigators so they know he's being photographed.
A GPS tracking system? Really? Why? Why? That's just stalker behavior right there. That's awful. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. Yeah, I would not like that at all.
Tell it, boys. One of the most obnoxious things that Hobby Lobby seems to be known for is stalking and profiling. Did not see that coming. One video
Okay.
showcases two employees burying their heads in clothing racks to spy on another customer.
Oh,
for
that's
10
stalker
minutes.
behavior.
the
That is
inspector.
stalker behavior.
I'm telling you, it's the Inspector Gadget
I
thing.
would not accept that.
Go gadget subtlety.
A lot of people who speak out about being followed often just so happen to be people of color who, or those who have tattoos. And because of this, Hobby Lobby is accused of profiling people who just don't fit the description of clean-cut evangelical Christians. Why aren't you following them? Said the pregnant old woman. She's fine. I'm more worried about you. This pales in comparison to one of the wildest stories to come out from the Green
here we
family.
go.
What I'm
Bible
referring to
Museum.
is the Museum of the Bible.
Museum of the Bible.
The Museum of the Bible was created in 2010 by the Green family and officially launched in 2017, costing upwards of $500 million. The goal, according to the nonprofit behind it, is to bring to life the living Word of God, to tell its compelling story of preservation, and to inspire confidence in the absolute authority and reliability of the Bible. Part of what makes the museum so impressive is that it contained thousands upon thousands of historical objects and artifacts. Many of these artifacts were being gathered by David's son since as far back as 2009. The fact that they were able to acquire so many in a span of 6 to 7 years was incredibly suspicious. It's pretty suspicious. Very, very suspicious. How'd you get that? David, how'd you get that? The truth eventually came to light. In less than a year after opening to the public, Hobby Lobby, one of the main donors, was fined $3 million for illegally importing thousands of unique artifacts. One of the items claimed to be illegally purchased was a 3,500-year-old clay tablet known as the Gilgamesh Dream Tablet, which was acquired in 2014. It was soon understood that many other objects, like the supposed Dead Sea Scroll fragments in their possession, were forged and purchased without
That's definitely not good to hear at all. The fact that this museum has been illegally purchasing items and all that kind of stuff, that's definitely not a good sign to hear. Because usually most museums will actually legally purchase items to display in their museum and everything. But the fact that this museum has illegally purchased items to put in a museum, that's not good. That's definitely not good at all. That's definitely not good in the slightest when it comes to that. I don't like that at all.
Properly proving their authenticity. Over time, more and more items had to be returned from the museum to both Iraq and Greece, and out of 40,000 artifacts the museum originally boasted, around 13,000 were returned. And while the museum now promises to properly authenticate its pieces and respect the acquisition process going forward, it's still heavily
Yeah, so yeah, you definitely need to respect and make sure your museum is pretty authentic, because you don't want to go around stealing stuff and just posting in your museum and claiming it's yours. And that's not a good idea to do at all. I don't agree with that kind of way. I do agree with the fact that if you want to make your museum more authentic and stuff, that's actually pretty good. But make sure you buy your items legally, because yeah, that can also be a good thing to do, because buying things legally is actually a good thing. Buying things illegally is not good. Get you a lot of trouble.
Criticized today for its shady behavior. Others simply hate the museum as they believe its purpose is less about historical and religious education and more about trying to brainwash people into becoming a Christian, which they refuse. I just want to say too, I think it's so.
The idea of brainwashing people to become a Christian is pretty, yeah, because I don't like the idea of brainwashing people at all. I never like it. I never like it when other people try to brainwash me and stuff. It's really controlling and stuff. And if Christians decide to do that kind of stuff, that's just not good. And that's not a very Christian way to do when it comes to, trying to show their beliefs and everything else. So, yeah, because for what I learned in church, it's what I learned that brainwashing is just not good at all. Like, they do let people have a choice and stuff. And the church I've went to actually respects me for who I am and stuff. I've been to a church and they respect me for who I am, which is actually good. The church I've been to is a Christian church known as Crossbridge, and they're a pretty good church indeed. They're a pretty good church. I've had great times there and stuff. And I've witnessed some people that force their beliefs at me. Like, for example, there was this minister that forced his beliefs at me, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. But that person got fired. I'm not going to mention his name on here because I don't know if the Crossbridge will like it for me to mention his name. But all I know is that that guy got fired, and I'm glad he got fired. He was very forceful with his beliefs and stuff, and he was definitely not a great person to get along with. I also didn't like his wife. His wife was not good. His wife was like a Karen, by the way. His wife was like a Karen Christian to be exact. Like, she'll get at me at times for bringing stuff with me on the youth group trips that she didn't like and approve, and she will try to judge me and stuff, which is definitely not the Christian way at all. I mean, you're supposed to forgive people what are their ways of what they like and stuff. You're supposed to have to judge them for what they are. I mean, yeah, she was very judgmental, by the way. She was very judgmental. She was. Very judgmental indeed. So was her husband. Both him and her were really judgmental. I didn't like their behavior. Yeah, it didn't improve it at all.
Funny that they're just like, I didn't think we should. I didn't know I should. I thought that was Jesus Christ. It's just a dead guy's body. Also, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I thought those those are like on tour. Like that's like something. Have you ever heard of those? I saw they were in like the show in Kansas City where like behind all this glass and stuff. But it was like, I don't think they're just like, all right, fine, we'll sell them. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure like it's probably like some kind of government owns them or some shit like that. I don't know. If there's anything to take away from this video, it's that Hobby Lobby is surely one of the stranger retail stores we've covered. At least at the Goodwill outlets, you know what you're getting right off the bat, right? And same people scrounging for a deal.
That's
At Hobby
true.
Lobby, there's this uncomfortable feeling that there are strange things happening behind the scenes. But if you want cheaply printed AI art and a unique crucifix for every day of the week, go nuts. Just make sure you look over your shoulder, because someone's probably watching you. We will see you in the next one, guys. Hey, praise God.
Hallelujah.
Welcome back to the...
Okay, so that was a pretty good video of what he said and everything. I actually liked that video of his. That's as a conservative, I really appreciate this video and stuff about how he describes Hobby Lobby and stuff. I still like to shop at Hobby Lobby whenever I can to buy some arts and crafts and stuff. And Hobby Lobby is still a pretty good store to go to when it comes to arts and crafts and everything. So, yeah. When it comes to religious beliefs, I never pay attention to the religious beliefs and stuff. I never noticed they were like very religious and conservative. And then when I did some research about Hobby Lobby, yes, they are definitely religious and very conservative. I got nothing against Christians nor conservatives at all, or people when it comes to conservatives. I am a conservative myself. I do like the conservative values, and I also like that kind of stuff when it comes to those beliefs and everything else. But the thing is, I don't like it when these type of people try to force their beliefs to people. I don't really like that at all. That's not a good way to, spread your message. If you want to spread your message, you can educate people and teach them and show them what it's like. That's a good thing to do. But when it comes to forcing your beliefs and that kind of stuff, that's just not a good way to teach people. That's not a good way to teach people. That can really just damage a person's mind right there. It just really can damage a person's mind right there, indeed. So yeah, I don't really like it when certain religions like to force their beliefs and stuff and be like that. It's just not a good idea. And I also like it when certain people that like to be judgmental with their beliefs and everything. It's just not good. Not good. It's not a good idea to do that. Because I don't think it's right to be judgmental at times, especially when you're actually trying to criticize people and everything. I mean, I've criticized people before, and I've been criticized too. And when it comes to criticism, it has to be constructive and helpful. And when it comes to the point where it's harsh and pretty much judgmental, it's hard for me to understand at times. Yeah, it will be kind of hard to understand them at times when it comes to why they're like that and stuff. So yeah, I do like it when criticism is actually constructive. I do like it when it's constructive when it comes to being helpful and understanding for you to learn the stuff that you need to learn. Yeah, but anyway, I like this video that Pop Me puts out. It's a pretty good video. It's a very unique video indeed he put out. I love his sense of humor. I love his videos. I really like what he is when it comes to his ways and stuff. I mean, yeah, he's a pretty funny guy. I'd like to meet in person. I'd like to meet this guy in person, have an interview with him, and whenever I get a chance to and stuff. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my commentary on his video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.